Welcome everybody to a new podcast called Cosmic Conversation with myself, Marie.
And me, Tina.
Right, our conversations are, about a variety of things, but this is a bit of a passion for both of us. And Tina has a lot of experience in the field of cosmic conversations. And her life is so fascinating that I'm always asking her questions, and basically that we just thought we'd do a podcast. So welcome everyone. And the first thing we're going to talk about, go straight in with it, is using metaphysical practices to attain wealth. Hey, don't you want a bit of wealth in your life?
We all want money.
So, do you believe in mantras?
Yes, I do. I use mantras.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, we'll talk about mantras first. Mantras are...
repeated words, aren't they? And phrases, really, through the spoken word or in your head. And I believe that the background of it is in Indian religions and around Buddhism.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Although I don't believe in religion, I think it's more the vibration frequencies of the mantras that work rather than you praying to a god.
Right.
You know, or doing
your intention.
Yeah. The thing is, you're supposed to say it 108 times, and that's what they use them beads for. There's usually 108 beads.
Oh, so where we live in Northern Cyprus, sorry to our notes here, the gentlemen have beads, don't they?
Yeah.
And they keep turning them and twisting them in their hands, and that, are they doing
that's
them?
Part of it, but they're not doing it. The idea they've lost a bit. They're just called worry beads here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They are,
usually you get 108 beads, so each one you pass it through your fingers until you're back to the first one.
Right.
I presume like one of them would be
so that might colour. Be like the mantra or the thought process you're going through might be that you're worried about a loved one or something, or things like that. Anything that you're worried about.
Yeah.
So it could be that you might not have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And by the way, before we carry on, guys, we are a location podcast, and at the moment we're in a friend's back garden. Mm-hmm. So if you hear cars, tractors, and just things basically going on in the background, we're going back to the good old days of radio, where it wasn't sanitized, didn't have the best microphones, but it was the content. So that's something I forgot to say at the beginning. But worry beads here, maybe what the men have. So what is it that you've come to learn about mantras?
So the 108 times thing, let's hit the tractor go by. No. The 108 times is how long it takes for your brain to take in that information enough that when I've done it, I know I do it walking the dogs in my head, but I say it a couple of times aloud while I'm walking the dogs, and then I just say it in my head and completely repeat. Eventually, subconsciously, your brain you just carry on doing it, so it's still going on in the background, even though I'm talking to the dogs or thinking about something else at the same time. It's there.
So say if you said it without knowing 20 times and something sort of caught your eye or you had to deal with something, are you saying that subconsciously you're carrying it on?
Yeah, you do.
You don't have to worry about that you've only done it maybe 20 times.
Yeah.
You're just going to keep going anyway.
And another thing to help amplify is water.
Right.
Because water holds memory. So if you're in a busy atmosphere or if you're working in an office, you could do the mantra, and if you have a glass of water, it will pick up the mantra and memorize it in the water. And then you could drink the water, so you're taking another mantra.
Wow.
The same mantra.
I ain't heard that before.
Yeah. That's amazing. I've tried it once. I don't know if it worked. Who knows if it works or not. But I think the mantras do work. They work for me when the voice is deep. Now, I don't know if that's something to do with wealth, because to attain wealth, I think you need to be grounded. When you see a lot of wealthy people, you don't see a lot of wealthy spiritual people, do you? Not a lot. Not really. A lot
well,
of
you
spiritual
might-
people are poor because they're probably up in the clouds. But you need to ground yourself, and that's like rooting your feet into the ground as if they were roots of a tree.
Is
And,
that like
you know,
is that like what
earth.
I've been taught? Is like you put your feet on the ground, and then you imagine that your feet are like growing roots and going into the ground.
Yeah,
and then
that's
going
it.
deep as possible. Just
Yeah.
concentrate on that
Yeah.
and getting yourself grounded. That's what I was, taught to do. But you just let me pick up on something you said about like a low voice. Is that for you, like a man?
Yeah.
Or is it a woman with a low voice, or does it
I
matter?
think a male one. I used one on YouTube. His name is, now let me get this right, DhyaanGuru, Dr. Nipun Aggarwal.
Wow, it's a mouthful.
That's the name of his channel. But I've done a
And
lot
that's
of
on
different
YouTube?
Yeah, I've done a lot, and that is the only one that seems to work for me, because I think his deep voice resonates with me. And it's not to say, like, I've heard women ones and they're lovely and they sound beautiful, but for wealth, I think the deep voice for me is more grounding. So I stick to it, and it works because I've done it. The one I use, it's Om Shri Venkateshwarahe Namaha.
Can you? No, not just. Can you repeat that? So
it's Om Shri Venkateshwarahe Namaha.
Okay. So if anybody listening,
yeah, that's the one you can look up. And for me, that one is the business wealth, which is what we're now doing.
Yeah.
I've been doing it on my own. We've also been doing affirmations together, haven't we?
Every day.
Yep.
I've sent you one today.
I sent you it, didn't I?
Oh yeah, I said back at you,
woke up
didn't I?
first,
Yeah, back at you. But is there a time limit? Is there a certain time of day that you do this, or is this when you're grounded, whenever that is?
I do it in the mornings when I'm walking the dogs, because I don't get time to do anything else. I don't see the necessity of sitting down and meditating to do it. Obviously you can, and I'm sure it's great, but I do it while I'm on the go, as long as you're not driving.
Yeah, well, if you was on the train or a bus,
If you've got headphones, you can do it.
Maybe in your lunchtime. And I'm only saying things like that because people might think, I ain't got time to do 108 things. But there is a moment in your life that maybe in the bathroom, having a bath. Yes, I did say bath, but it's bath, isn't it, to me?
Bath.
But, there's got to be a moment, hasn't there, that you can sort of get yourself in a position of grounding, of peacefulness. It's hard for a lot of people, and that's not your personality, it's because of your lifestyle. But I think you must give yourself the opportunity to have that space. So somebody might say, if I do that mantra, I'm going to get my wealth.
And it comes in small, you're not going to get like bang, £1 million check. It comes in little ideas, just small steps. It does for me. Like ideas on, obviously I've got the charity, I've got a dog charity, and I've got 34 rescue dogs. And every day it's a struggle to find the money to get food. So I think of innovative ideas to make money. We did a dog show. We do like market stalls. We make soap. We do all different things.
Cyprussoaps.com, I must say. Thank you. Look it up.
The best soaps in the whole wide world.
Yeah, botanical soaps. Thank you. But so that's the
it
point.
It gives you the ideas, and I think, and sometimes I'll wake up and think, that's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that before? And then I think, I did do the mantra, and then I do get donations.
And I must say, you have been getting messages or support financially from donations, or from people helping you to get donations recently, haven't you? That are out the blue.
Yeah, and people that you wouldn't think. Yeah, they come in the most like surprising ways. One thing I would say is turn your Wi-Fi off.
Yeah.
Because I think they are damaging frequencies and not good. When you look at the Wi-Fi frequency, it's a very high frequency, like microwave and MRI scans, X-rays.
Yeah, because you have to move out the way from X-rays, don't you?
Yeah, so, download the YouTube videos and then watch them offline. Once you get to know the mantra, you won't need it. I don't use it really anymore.
Yeah.
I don't put it on anymore. It's in my head. It's always it's in my head now as we're talking. I can multitask my brain and do both at the same time. So so the deeper tone for me works. The male voice works, and mantras really it's like going into, say, affirmations. Obviously mantras is a different language, and I don't even know if it is a real language. I know some of the words mean something, like on the one that I do, is it's the primordial sound of the earth, isn't it? And then the next bit is actually the name of one of the gods, which obviously I don't believe in, and I don't know if it's the sound of the words. If you translated it to English, would it work? No, I don't think so. I think it is the sound of the words, because the words make vibrations. The vibrations are frequencies, and it all comes back to frequencies.
Could you say words in our language, English? Could you say words? Could you make up a mantra?
But
are you able to do that?
But then you're looking at, like, it in English, we would do affirmations, wouldn't we? Which is nothing connected to any religion. And then an affirmation, I am rich.
I was going to say, what's an example?
It's the same sort of thing. It's repeating over and over and over again.
And isn't it something
trains your brain?
Isn't it something about that you've already got it? You've already visualising it.
The same with law of attraction, isn't it? Visualising that you already have. So if you want a nice house, a villa, where we are, a villa with a pool, you imagine yourself again with that villa, and you imagine yourself sitting there, and it's not just saying it, it's feeling it. Because if you don't believe that you're gonna get this wealth or this villa or this material, whatever you want, it's not going to happen. Just saying it is not enough.
Yeah.
It's having the feeling and the joy, feeling the joy of what it would be like if you already had it.
Oh, okay. So so if I did that mantra and I just wanted money, because we're talking about that metaphysical practice of attaining wealth.
Yeah.
And thank you, we're being called to prayer at the moment, but if you can bear with us a minute. This is our first podcast, and if you just had, I want money, would that work?
As you're saying it, as if you said it like a mantra.
Yeah,
like an affirmation.
No, if you're saying that mantra that you do each day, say that, right, and you just want money, do you have to have more than I want money?
Yeah.
In your being, in your intention.
Because you're saying I want, which means you haven't got. So you're already putting in your brain, you want something, but you need to reprogram your brain in that frequency that you've already got it, and feeling that positive joy.
So the steps
already having it.
You've already got it.
Have it.
You desire to have, and you have that vision. Would you say that you have a vision, a feeling that you've already got it?
Yeah.
And I'm only making it clear just in case somebody's listening to this and has never thought about doing a mantra or attaining wealth from a mantra, or even thinking that this could be something that they'd like to look more into. Do you know what I mean? I'm not expecting everybody who's listening to know exactly what we're talking about.
I mean, if you say like, I am rich, if you doubt what you're saying, you're causing resistance. It's not going to work.
I think that's
You
where
know?
I come from.
And
I've come from
I'm
in the past.
very doubting of myself, and it's taken me a very long time to get out of that. And how you can get out of that is having gratitude. You think of the things that you do have.
Yeah.
You know, I'm grateful. I already have beautiful dogs in my life that love me. I have a large amount of land. It's mine. You know, that's my material wealth. I have that, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for being here in the sun with the sand and the sea. That's gratitude. And I'm rich that I've got that. So then you're putting your frequency and your mind in that positive attitude that you
I think
do
it's
have.
good to know that.
Yeah.
I think it's good to know that because you could start yourself off in a way like doing those things that you already know that are good in your life.
Yeah, everybody's got something good. You know, I know some people's lives are really bad, and I've been in really bad places, but you have to find something good to build on.
Yeah, you have the
You know?
sky, the trees.
Yeah,
you
nature.
know, nature.
Yeah.
If that's something good in your life, you know.
I mean, with the law of attraction, whatever you focus on, good or bad, you're going to attract. So you really have to work on the nice things, the good things. Because if you focus on the bad, like attracts like, that's what the law of attraction is.
Well, you're saying about like attraction and things coming to you, and that brings me on to frequencies.
Yeah.
That kind of frequency. So is there I remember you talking to me about the 666 frequency once. Could you elaborate on that for people?
Yeah, the 666, obviously 666 in Christian religion is to do with the devil, isn't it? Which
Yeah.
I won't go into too much about the Bible and religion because I think it's all man-made anyway, but that is drawing us away from material wealth, because 666 is the number for material wealth. So using maybe 666 hertz, which is how frequencies are measured in hertz, megahertz, gigahertz. It's like Wi-Fi, in it, gigabytes, megabytes.
Yeah, people know about like.
Yeah, so you can
that.
get that. Yeah, so the 666 hertz I think would help with material wealth. And listening to that, you can find on YouTube. You can find that.
So you don't resonate the 666 frequency.
I've not really tried it, but it's worth a try. I'd be interested if anyone did try the 666 megahertz and listen to it and see what happened.
I mean, anything we're talking about today on Cosmic Conversation, I mean, please in comment, ask us any questions. I mean, because that question, I've never really thought about it before until we just start, that's what a conversation's about. You don't sometimes know what's going to come out of the conversation or be spoken about. But if anybody wants to make any comments, any questions, just put in the comments below, so to speak, and we'll get back to you, because it's really interesting. There might be things that we've missed out. We're only just touching on this, aren't we, in our first podcast?
Yeah.
We're just touching on it, but you said that you tried that frequency on your flute.
Yeah, and it was actually, I think it was an E note.
An E note.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So if you knew what the E was, like on your keyboard or a guitar,
you just continually played an E.
Well, you could
you would end up humming it in your brain, wouldn't you?
You could emulate, whatever.
Yeah, that could even
I'm
be like an om.
Go on, you got.
Well, the thing is, when you're looking at that E can be on a different octave, so it could be It's all the letter E, isn't it? I think the lower you go, the frequency will change. It will always be an E, but that frequency will always change as you go up or down.
What was that one you said that is like more an all-round frequency?
So 528 hertz is the exact center of the human's sound frequencies and color that the human ear can hear. So 528 is like a very neutral frequency.
So is
And
it
that
528
is 528 hertz.
hertz?
Yeah. So there's 1,000 hertz in megahertz. Yeah, it's a megahertz, gigahertz. It's like the internet is, isn't it?
Gigabytes
Like,
and
that's
megabytes.
it. Yeah, one's bigger than the other, like in mathematics, isn't it? One's like 1,000 of that. So the hertz is the lowest, and which is what all the YouTube videos are on there, on the hertz. Once you start going into megas and gigas, then you're getting into the harmful ones, which I said is like the MRI, X-rays, Wi-Fi. They're the dangerous
Right, so
ones.
the
They're
ones
dangerous to
you're
humans. So
telling us today are the ones that are safe.
yeah, so 528 hertz is like a healing one. Now we know we're talking about money, but I'm sure if you use that one, it's gonna, you know, level out and bring more peace and harmony to make things work for you anyway. So 528 is a good one.
I mean, wealth could be as well that you get an opportunity to get a new job,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
It could be the wealth of the people that are around you, you know, who they are. Are we talking money wealth, or then are we talking about the wealth of your life, like the goodness that you've got? That you mentioned earlier that it was the richness. You know, it might
Yeah.
not be money.
yeah. I am rich. So you could, if you can accept of, you know, even if you haven't got physical money, you know, you haven't got much in your bank, you can still look around your surroundings and say, I'm wealthy because of that. It's putting you in that zone, getting you in that zone and keeping you in that zone so that you will attract more. Like attracts like.
Yeah, you've always said that.
And again, with like the mantras 108 times, you can do the affirmations 108 times, because it will then it just imprints on your brain, and then it's ingrained, and it's all about reprogramming your neurons, which goes into a
Which
bit of
is really funny
science.
because we're in a really hot time in the country that we're in, and we've got water around us, and we've been talking about this.
So
So,
that water
hang on,
has
yeah.
now got memory.
Yeah.
So-
Cheers to everybody
Yeah.
who's listened to our first podcast. And hope that this metaphysical practice to attain wealth is just a taster. Some of the things we've been talking about. Have you got any more that you need to like put across today?
No, I just want to keep drumming into people's heads. You manifest what you believe in. You know, if you don't believe in yourself and you're saying affirmations, it's not going to work. You must believe that you're going to get it. Or believe
It's
that you're
hard,
already...
isn't it?
It is hard when you're depressed and you're down. It really is.
And in a bad situation, yeah.
But
But
the more
be
you
strong,
do it,
be
the
strong.
more, yeah, just keep on doing it.
Believe that things will change, whatever that change may be. If that's you getting stronger, or your financial position gets better, or you have an opportunity to make that wealth, and that wealth could be a regular paycheck.
Yeah, and a good thing like the law of attraction is keep a notebook. All the positive things that happen every day. Keep notes.
Even if it's one thing.
Today I found a pound coin. Do they do pound coins anymore in England? I don't know. It would be a lira here. Yeah, today I found a pound coin.
I found a coin,
no.
or you know, or somebody gave me the extra bit of change I needed to put in the parking meter.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough on me. You know, but that is a positive thing.
Is, yeah.
If it's something that doesn't happen to you.
Yeah.
Very small steps sometimes.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, very small steps. I mean, like
And ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I got
Ideas.
the opportunity to to help somebody else, and I'm being like financially rewarded for me
Yeah.
car. You know,
Yeah.
they're helping me to help them.
Mm.
Don't really want anything from them, but it really helps me if they put the. I know this is a really small thing. It isn't the same thing as a bank account with millions of pounds, but it's just as good for me at the moment. You know what I mean? That's really good. It
Yeah.
means I'm not going to be out of pocket.
Yeah, I mean, I don't ask for. Of course, I'd like to be a millionaire, but I want my money for unselfish reasons. I think, I'd like my money to help pay for the dog's food, veterinary bills, and to help build more buildings for them, shelter, and,
Keep them
play
fed.
areas.
Keep them fed.
Yeah. So when I ask for stuff, that's where my money goes.
I think it's such a personal thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
What your wealth is,
Yeah.
what you want the wealth for as well.
Yes.
So what's the one that you use at the moment for wealth? Business wealth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Because you are run a charity, and in association with that charity, this podcast is being brought to you today by the TRNC.
Animal Rescue Family. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram.
And you can donate by PayPal.
Yeah, which is sosdogs2017@outlook.com.
Well, we could say that 108 times and maybe we'll get a donation. But,
Yeah.
leave it on a light note.
Yeah.
And hopefully you have enjoyed or just been intrigued by what the hell are them two women going on about. But we are two friends, and we always chat all the time. So our conversations have come to this podcast, and we will be making more. So if you haven't already subscribed to us, subscribe, and then find out what we're doing next week. Well, hopefully in the future we'll do about is it channeling?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what else we've got.
Karma.
Oh, karma, yeah. So those sort of things we'll be doing podcasts on, and I will say it again. Comment, tell us what you want in the podcasts as well. See what we can do, and if you'd like to be part of the podcast, give us some examples of your mantras, your successes, your failures, and how it's affected you.
Yeah, and we'll let you know in about a month's time if ours has been working.
Yeah. So, well, I'm going to say goodbye, guys, and see you on the next podcast.
Yeah.
So, goodbye from me, Marie.
And thank you for listening. Goodbye from me, Tina.
See you guys. See you next time.
Bye.